Can anybody hear me now? Hello. Hello everybody. Wow, there's a lot of people on this. Okay, so everyone can hear me. Hello. I thought we'd try a little bit of Easter Stitch Live. Hello everybody. Hello Joanne's. I don't know what you can hear because I can't hear what you hear. So is the sound okay? Good. Okay, so everyone can hear me. I'm having a bit of an issue because my lovely daughter is not here to help me with the technical difficulties, and I can't see what I'm supposed to see on my main screen. So I don't know what you see or what you don't see. Hopefully she's going to be home momentarily and will come in and just quickly flick a switch and make it so that I can see what you're seeing, so that I can keep up with you all. So hello, welcome, and fingers crossed this all goes according to plan. So let's head on over to the stitching, and please tell me if you can't see the stitching, because like I say, I can't see what you can see. So let me see if I can do this without my technical support. Okay, can everybody see the stitching? You can see, I can see you and your stitching now. Good, that was what was supposed to happen. I do like it when something actually goes according to plan. Yay! Technology has worked, people. I honestly didn't think that this was going to work out very well, but so far so good. As you can see, I'm totally unprepared. Totally unprepared because I haven't even got a needle threaded. So, yeah, bad me. I spent so much time trying to make sure that everything was working because I was in a bit of a panic, as you do when you do these, you know, technical go lives. I was in such a panic that it was all going terribly wrong that I didn't get my stuff together. Hello from Virginia. It's awesome. Yasmin, yes, you can see stitching. Fabulous stuff. Fabulous stuff. I have to be honest, this is really quite nerve-wracking. I'm actually shaking because it's just so nerve-wracking. And I don't know why, because really it's no different to any other video I do. But I think because I know that you're all actually there, like as if you're in the room with me. As you can see stitching, it's lunchtime here. You're eating a pear, very nice. Don't be nervous. I'm trying. I'm actually struggling to even sort out my own thread for my needle. I'm watching you and your and EastEnders. Fabulous. It's lovely of you to do this. Well, of course it is. Like I said before, I really struggle with the whole knowing what to talk to you about when I just do a Stitch With Me video that's not live. Because it's just, I don't know what to say. Whereas at least now I've actually got some interaction, so I can read what you're writing, and I can actually have someone to talk to, or at least that's how it feels. I think my daughter has just come home, so I'm hoping she's going to come in here and sort out the screen, because the screen is a problem. So I'm just going to go on mute momentarily, but you will still be able to see me, so bear with, people. Technical support is in the room, people. Please bear with me 1 moment. Ah, she's fixed it. Is that what you want to see? That's exactly what I needed to see. Thank you so much. Right. Do you want to take fudge with you? Yeah, we'll take him. Thank you. What would I do without her? Okay, I can take a breath now. that was yeah, quite frightening. I was like, oh no, I can't see anything. Oh, okay. Let's chat. Oh, now the dog's back. This is never ending. Are you coming in? Okay, you come in. You go and lay down. No, you can't sit with me. You need to go away. As you can see, we're like a few minutes in already, and I haven't even stitched a thing. That's not unusual. Okay, let's see if I can find my chart. Looking good for your cross stitch here. Fabulous. Mary, is Logan going nuts, barking at me as usual? He's my bestie, he is. Right, I'm going to put my paper chart over to the right, because I'm actually not working from the iPad at the minute whilst I do this, because the whole intricacies of it all. So I thought I would do it via paper, just so that I know what I'm doing, because otherwise this could get all rather technical. And if at any time it looks like my stitching, that this camera here has frozen, please let me know, because it has this little quirky habit where it will switch off, but it will just show a static screen. So when it does that, just go, hey Teresa, we can't see you actually stitching anything. Of course, it's always possible that it's because I'm talking too much and not actually stitching. There is always that possibility. But fingers crossed, it will just play ball and be nice to me. So what have we got? You'll be concentrating on my stitching and forget to talk. And Sharon's watching me and Gardener's World. Well, what can I say? You've got taste if you're watching Gardener's World. In fact, I should probably be watching Gardener's World, but I'm recording Gardener's World, so I won't miss it. And I've been in my garden all day today. The weather is fabulous here. It's like unbelievably unreal, super warm on the deck. You know, in fact, we was breaking out like in sweat. It was actually really hot. So it's unheard of, especially on an Easter weekend. Hello from Alabama. Hello, Belgium. Wow. I can't believe how many people are on this. Hello, everyone. Hi, Amy. Sussex Stitch Witch. No spoilers, please. I'm going to watch it on iPlayer tomorrow. So, yes, no spoilers on Gardener's World. I want to see whether I'm actually in keeping with what Gardener's World said that I should be doing this weekend. Okay, let me see if I can count whilst I'm talking to you. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're living on my TV. It's great. Dad's here signing off. Oh, bye, Mary. Thank you for stopping by. It might make Logan be quiet. Hello, Virginia East Coast. Okay, no stitching, VAT return. Oh, that sort of sucks, doesn't it? But at least it needs to be done. So you're being very good, especially on a Easter bank holiday weekend. Yasmin stitching on Zelda and listening to me. Fabulous. Tina, Gardener's World. Oh, you don't know what you're missing. Gardener's World is a program with Monty. I mean, Monty is just like the guru of all gardeners. And we have a show called Gardener's World that comes on, I think it's only been on for a couple of weeks. And each season he'll do you'll have Gardener's World on right the way through to I think September, October time. And he just, it's all about sort of what I call your everyday gardener, sort of things you need to think about, things you need to do, all about the flowers, how to do bits and pieces, tells you how to train trees, and it's fabulous. But he just makes it look effortless, and then makes it so that, even the novice of all novices could go out and do gardening quite happily. It's fabulous. I lucked out to logging into YouTube now. Love listening to you. Thank you. Just settling down and stitching and watching again last week's Game of Thrones. Oh God, yes, I'm a fan of Game of Thrones. Totally. In fact, I'm gonna confess, people. Me, my husband, my daughter and her boyfriend all got up at 2 o'clock in the morning on the first new series of the new episode. 2 a.m. in the morning on a weeknight, just to get up and watch Game of Thrones, and then we went back to bed. But it was so worth it. So worth it. Love those dragons. But then I like Jon Snow as well. Right, where am I? I need to concentrate, people. Don't let me start veering off and just disappearing off with this black. Because that's very, very possible that could happen, since as I'm sitting here actually chatting to people rather than just chatting to myself. I think I'm the only person never to have watched Game of Thrones. I know lots of people that haven't actually started or even watched Game of Thrones. And to be honest, because there's so many series now, well, of the episodes, when I go back and I watch the first ones all over again, they were a little bit, well, the first few were a little slow, so it was very difficult to get into it. But then all of a sudden, once you get into it and you know the characters, it's great. So if you haven't watched it, but I suppose it's the same as anything, isn't it? It's basically what your taste is, if you like that kind of thing. I don't necessarily think Game of Thrones is for everyone. Just like Outlander wasn't for everyone. But that's another one that I absolutely loved. I loved Outlander. What's that? You've never watched Game of Thrones? Very naughty in places. Yeah, not as naughty as Outlander, though. I've got to be honest. My mum got quite into Outlanders after she came out of hospital. And I had to sort of say to her, Mum, it's a bit racy in places. So be warned. She was like, oh, that's okay. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh no. I can't imagine my mum watching anything like that. But even she turned around and she was like, oh, it's very saucy. Yes, I haven't seen it either. Do you love indoor plants as much as your outdoor? I love my indoor plants. In fact, I like any plants. I've got quite a lot of plants in indoors. I've got peace lilies, I've got a lot of orchids, and I've got a lot of cactuses. And then I love cut flowers. The only problem is although I've got a garden full of flowers. Oh, I've done it wrong now. I've got a garden full of flowers, but I can't bring myself to cut them and bring them indoors. Because then I'm like, well, they're not in the garden to look at then. All seasons are on now. Outlanders is such a shame though. Not a patch on the books. Well, see, there's the thing. I've never actually watched. Well, I've watched all the series on the TV, but I've never read the books. So by never reading the books, I suppose I haven't really got a benchmark to sort of to say whether I think it's a bit of a letdown. But I do tend to find that that's like most films, though. Most films are never as good as the book if you've read the book first. Hope we get a garden tour. Your garden is beautiful. I'm not sure. Well, you might get a garden tour in the summer. All my tulips are out in glory at the moment, and some of them are really quite fragrant. So it's divine when you go out there, especially like in this warm evening air. They're just, oh, it's just divine. I've got pictures, so on my next update video, I'll put some pictures of the garden so that you can see the tulips and the daffodils. But as soon as obviously the dahlias and, you know, the lilies all start coming out, then of course I'll update you all with some colour. What's that? Oh, stop scrolling so fast. I can't see Hypermaz. I've never watched Game of Thrones. The magazines are interested in the article on Annie's keepers, so we'll keep you in the loop as they may want to include you too. Oh, Kate, thank you. Yes, I would be very interested in doing that. You're an absolute treasure, sweetheart. Tina, have you given a little tour, please? All right, I'll give you a little tour of the garden, okay? You'll get like a snippet at the end. 6 Boston fans. Number of spider plants. A Vera plant. Haven't got one of those. Not really been successful with succulents either, I have to confess. And Selena says, I'm working on Lady Justice. You've got Andromeda, but not starting as yet. Well, if I keep sitting here watching what everyone's saying, there won't be much progress on my lovely Andromeda. I have a full crystal vase. Oh. Tina, you've still got snow. Well, I best not tell you that I was out in my bikini then, on the deck all day today. Because it was hot, hot, hot. Super hot. See, there might be the problem. The succulents, forget watering them. They thrive on neglect. I might struggle with that bit then. Oh, you're off now. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks for the live chat. You're more than welcome. Thank you for coming and hanging out. I only rarely water my succulents, like it could be a month or more. So Tina, it's warm there today, but the snow will go away. I'm very pleased to hear that. Yeah, see, 32 degrees in Wales today. We was rocking along in the mid-20s today. It was that warm. And it was lovely. Totally lovely. So much so that we had to wear sunscreen. Which at Easter time is really rare. We normally, I mean, we've had snow at Easter. More than once. What's that? So warm here, had to put chocolate in fridge. I'm in the south of England. Hello in the south of England. Why am I turning this over? We're not ready. It's almost 22 here. Good to hear everyone's having some lovely weather. And for those that aren't having lovely weather, I am sure it's coming your way. 1, 2. So what is everybody stitching? What are you all doing? I mean, I know that Kate's doing her tax returns instead of stitching, lover. What is everybody else doing? You're stitching Haid alpaca. Very nice. I would have got one of my Haids out and started to stitch on that, but I was thinking I might not be very good at it since as I'm trying to talk to you all. I have enough trouble counting. What else have we got? We've got The Fairy of the Wind by Joan Elliott. We're doing Garden Beauty, the Mirabilia. I've been model stitching on Mindfulness Sal when I get a spare minute. Good for you. Desert Stitcher. Just finished my first hard hanger yesterday. Thanks for you and your beautiful book. Oh, don't. The hard hanger. It's just so different, and I absolutely love it. I've started a new one. I've got to be honest. You'll see that in my monthly update of those on Instagram would have already seen pictures of it. What have we got? Sale by Linens and Threads. Might stitch on Royal Tudor Mandala. Tina, is that a chatelaine? I'm not 100% on all the chatelaine mandalas yet. Haid Mini Baby Elephant Paul. That sounds cute. Linen and Threads Peacock Sal. Fabulous. Haid had a lovely freebie today. A couple in Springtime Garden. Stitching on a Russian kit. Not look. Oh, put your Haid down. Meant to be a story keep. Yeah. Even when they're a story keep, they're still not small, are they? Are you doing our free hard hanger? Kate, no, not as yet. You know what I'm like. I'm just sort of spur of the moment. Someone did mention it to me, though. It was mentioned to me that you was doing one. But it's a Sal, isn't it? Emerald City of Owl Forest Embroidery. That sounds nice. Ouch, I can't watch you and stitch at the same time. Just save my finger. Oh no, don't do that. Don't actually watch. Just just listen. I don't want to be the cause of any injuries. Although if you saw me crawling around on all fours on the floor just now trying to sort out all the technical side of this this stitch with me, I might have actually injured myself. The one with all the crowns. Oh, Tina, I know the one you're talking about. I bet that's super gorgeous, isn't it? Where am I? One less. That's that Etsy is the devil. You couldn't be more wrong. The devil's us. We're the ones that can't help ourselves. I've just got to the point now where I don't go on anything unless I'm actually looking for something, because even when I'm not looking for something, I end up buying something. It's terrible. It just goes to show how much willpower I've got, which is like a big fat 0. Yes, third part just come out with cutting and everyone is panicking. Oh, are they? Yeah, I must admit, when I first did the cut work, that was a scary moment. But after you've cut sort of the first few, it's so easy. I mean, all right, no, it's not necessarily the best looking cut work. I'm sure it could be a lot smarter than the way I did it. But I'm over the fear of cutting the thread now, or the fabric. Have you got any more chatelaines kitted up and ready to go? I have. I've got Sleeping Beauty Castle, which is waiting in the wings, and it's like a full kit. So I've got the fabric, I've got the threads, I've got the beads. I just need to finish Evening in the Park first. I can't have more than one of those on the go at a time. Otherwise, nothing would ever get done. Isabel Moments of Craft. I just got more Haid charts in the mail. Good for you. I take it you work on the paper copies then? Tina, you should do an outline first so that when you go live, all you have to do is fill in. Do you know what? I was going to do that, Tina. But by the time I messed around and panicked immensely about getting the technical side sorted out, there wasn't any time to sit there and do the outline. Because I was sitting there thinking, if I was to just outline the blocks of colours, this would be so much easier. See, that's how much in advance I was not ahead of the game. I had not organised myself appropriately. But I will do better next time. I will get myself so that I'm a bit more organised. I mean, I know I've done one live stitch with me that I did the other morning, but that was more sort of the test. That was the test to see whether the technology would work, and two, it was to make sure that I could do it as well. So I picked a time when there wouldn't be that many people online. See, my camera's just stopped working. There we go. I picked a time when there wouldn't be that many people online. So I thought there wouldn't be that many people online. And obviously I didn't announce it first. So I didn't sort of let everybody know that I was going to do it. So that way, if it all went really, really wrong, it really wouldn't matter. Or at least that was my take on it. But then when I actually went online, it started off that there was a few, but then all of a sudden there was like more and more people, and I was like, oh. So yeah, that was interesting. But it did what I needed it to do. So it basically told me that everything was working and that I could do it. Because that was the biggest problem, was, do I think I could do it? Oh, sorry, I've just realised you can see my chart. Okay. What was I'm always tempted by inexpensive PDF patterns. I want more by the Etsy seller. It's a disease. You're not wrong. Tina, you're ready for Sleeping Beauty as well. Are you ready for it? I think Tina should confess how many chatelaines she's actually got on the go right now. Come on, fess up. Yes, I work on paper. Would you consider the show Game of Thrones a sci-fi type show? Game of Thrones sci-fi? No, I wouldn't say Game of Thrones is sci-fi. I'm not quite sure what you would call it, to be honest. It's sort of, I don't know, it's like an action. I mean, it can be a little bit gory at times. I don't know. Come on, Game of Thrones. Yeah, fantasy. It's more of a fantasy type thing. I work off the paper copies. I've never been interested in sci-fi. No, it's not a sci-fi. I still haven't started my first hide yet. The size of it scares me. Don't be scared. Just do it. It's little squares. Just remember, it's little squares. The little squares of a hide, in the grand scheme of things, is a lot easier than anything else that I've worked on. And if you don't look at it as it's a big project, just look at it as it's 10 by 10 blocks. It doesn't matter how many there are. Stitching Cat says to Joe, They're simpler than you think. She's totally right. They are. They're less complicated than anything else. There's no backstitch. There's no quarter stitches. Super easy. And come on, if I can do it, anyone could do it. Hey Terry. Hello my lovely. How are you? Are you doing okay? Hazer, just a stitch. I thought I would manage to come up. Yeah, I swung from 18 count Ada for my heights and then switched over to 25 count and I've never looked back. Now I'm even actually preferring 28 count 10 stitch because it just goes so much faster. That's one in. God, I hope I'm actually managing to do this without making loads of mistakes. I think I have. I should actually do some stitching. I'm spending more time actually looking at the chat than I am actually stitching anything. Good for you, Terry. Last chemo is May 21st. Oh, congratulations. And then you got radiation after that. Well, you're in my thoughts, sweetheart. And I'm good to hear that you're doing as well as you are. Keep up the good work, sweetie. Interested to find out that you were stitching the one from the other day in 10, not continental. No. So continental sounds a bit technical to me, and as you know, I'm not really a technical girl. So I just weave backwards and forwards in 10 stitch. And that's it. And I've had no problems with distortion. I don't know if it's anything to do with your tension, but I can't say that I'm overly careful with it. I just roll with it. And it seems to be fine. Tracy, got to go, Teresa. Hubby wants the TV. No problem, sweetheart. Take care of yourself. Thank you for hanging out with me. You just love it when the men take over the TV. I'm lucky. Mine's away all weekend. It doesn't come back until like midnight on Monday. It's going to be heavenly. I have a whole weekend to myself. Did I buy any patterns in the latest? No. Do you know what? For Hades, I'm ever so good. I don't just keep buying Hades charts. I basically make it so that I've got a few waiting in the wings, but just don't go on the site because otherwise, yeah. Well, you just know. You know how that could go. Because you could endlessly just keep purchasing. You're so sweet. I adore your videos. You're sweet, Terry. I love watching you, my love. You do make me laugh. Yeah, so no, Hades, I try to sort of stitch the ones that I'm stitching on and only really start looking at the Hades website when I know I'm looking for something new. And that's normally because I've had some sort of a finish. We count 1, 2. Need to go up and in 1 and up and in 1. I'm sorry if I'm not answering every single comment that's flicking through, but as you can see on the screen, it's going so quick. I'm struggling to be able to stitch anything and keep an eye on it. So Talk amongst yourselves, people, and I'll pick up on the comments as they fling by at 100 miles an hour. I'm going to try 25 count, but nervous. Don't be nervous. Just imagine that 25 count is exactly the same as anything else you've ever stitched on. Especially on a Haid, because if you're doing it on a Haid, you'll be doing either 2/1 or 1/1, I'm assuming. And you just have to treat the 4 squares, or the 4 holes, as your normal square that you would get in an Aida fabric. It really is super easy once you've done it. You only need to do like 1 10 by 10 block and it all sort of falls into place. It all makes total sense. I've always counted it, just remember to leave a hole in the middle for 2/2. So when I'm working 2/2, I just count across 1 2. So when you're doing it on a 25 count, it's literally up 1 hole, down the other hole, without the 1 in the middle. I think I'll give it a go. Yes, continental seems technical and it scares me to bits. I did look at it. I did look at sort of the whole continental approach, but when you start getting into the technicalities of in which direction you need to be going and how you do what, I was just like, do you know what? Does it really need to be that complicated? I started my Peacock's Lagoon. I did the first page and was just like, it's fine. It's fine just doing half stitch. And I just weave backwards and forwards. No real method to it. And mine's been totally fine. So go for it. The Haid site is dangerous. I didn't cave this cell. Terry, good for you. That's me and you both. The artwork on Hazel. They are beautiful. That's the problem though. There's so many Haids that are so beautiful that, yeah, self-restraint is almost impossible. Let's move that out of the way. Do you know what? It's so warm here. I'm about to open the window in the office. My poor little Fudge, I don't think he knew what hit him today, because we've gone from being really mild to like really warm just like overnight. It was amazing. But he's going off to the hair clippers to get his hair cut tomorrow, so that might make him a bit more comfortable, especially since we're having this little heat wave. I think Mirabilis are harder than Haids, but I love them. But I completely agree. Mirabilias are a lot harder than a Haid. Well, they are for me. There's so much more to them with all the back stitch, and obviously I always do my skin 1/1 for my sins. I just have the biggest problem I have with anything to do with the lovely ladies is the back stitch, and sometimes the quarter stitches, and I don't know why. I just don't seem to be able to get my head around it. I mean, look at my Roses of Provence. I mean, she's got the wiggliest looking arms I've ever seen. I've never been happy with her arms. But everyone else looks at her and says, oh, she's beautiful. So they must not see the arms, is the only thing I can say. It's only me that sees the arms. Sussex stitch, which I will just race in for a page finish on the alpaca, and we'll start Crow on Crescent Hill in intent. Just do it, sweetheart. Honestly. The amount of times I was very much like you, I was like, oh no, I don't think I can do that, because I've never worked on that before and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it. And when I did it, I was like, I don't understand what I was so worried about. Because literally it just fell into place. Where am I? Tina, I'm definitely going to do what you suggested and just do the outlines of chunky colours to do these so that I can just sit here and stitch inside the outlines. Hey Lucy, lovely for you to come and hang out with me yet again. I know. I did tell you that you was a guinea pig on the last stitch with me, didn't I? It was the guinea pig trial run. My plan was to do one later in the evening so that I could go live later so I could connect with the US, but I needed to make sure that technically I could do it before I made a complete and utter fool of myself. But it's lovely that you've come joined me. Are the kids in bed? I did my first Haid on a 14 count. Isabel Moments. You started a Haid on a 14 count. I bet that's an enormous piece. See, now, starting something on a 14 count, that would be like, that'd scare me purely because of the size of the fabric. Dear Debbie. Hi, Debbie from Indiana. Yes, thank you. I am doing much, much better. I'm much, much more able-bodied. In fact, talking about being completely able-bodied, I've got to go back to work soon. I'm really, really not looking forward to that. So I've got this week. Where are we? Easter weekend. So I've got this week coming, and then I go back to work the following week. So that's, yeah, depressing. Really easy to make the switch. I had to stitch Ada on 14 count the other day, and I couldn't wait to get back to 25 count 1/1. Yeah, I can imagine. See, now you're seeing the back of my work. It's not too terrible, is it? Does that look particularly messy? Come on. I'm sharing my backs with you. Do your backs look like mine? Of course, Lucy Slater's backs look fabulous. They look like, oh, as if she's actually stitching on the back. And I can say that because Lucy goes to the retreats that I've been to, and I've seen the back of her work. And she puts me to shame. Totally to shame. Yes, put them to bed, having a cuppa, and going to carry on with the hardanger that you enabled me to start. Would that happen to be the Lakeside Needlecraft hardanger sale by any chance? That Kate's reminded me is at part 3 currently. Would that be the one that we're actually talking about? For those that are interested in doing a spot of hardanger, head on over to Lakeside Needlecraft. She has a hardanger sale that is currently at part 3. And they tried to make me get involved. But I'm already doing another one. So, one at a time, people. I'm stitching on 2 mirrors at the same time, Fairy Moon and Lady of Mystery. Also find watching flosstube bad. For an example, after watching you, I have kitted twisted threads in your shadow line. I'm going to say 2 words. Willpower. Good luck with that because none of us have got it. You are the trailing blaze of all the fancy projects lately. Hardly. Yeah, I've got my just cross stitch. I don't care what your bag looks like. Thank you. And please no one's actually looking at it. No judging, okay? Right, let me think. Let me just count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, where are we? Do you sit there and do that? You know, when you're stitching, do you sit there and just start randomly talking to yourself? The amount of times I sit there going, oh, right, yeah, okay, oh, right, yeah, that's what I need to do. And my husband's like, what? What are you saying? No, I'm not talking to you. Talking to myself. The lakeside hardang is the one I'm doing. So Kirsty's doing the hardang asal. Lucy's doing the hardang asal. I need the step-by-step instructions. I kind of care about what my back looks like. Nature Crafts, I'm pleased to hear it. I do care about what it looks like, but sometimes I just don't seem to be able to make it look neat, so I just have to just let it go. Because if I was to sit there and worry about how neat it was, I'd never actually get anything done. I don't either, which is good considering how they look. Mine looked like a nest. See, now if I was to flip over some of my heids, yeah, they're not a pretty sight. Especially with the fact that I just sort of go all over the place and carry lots of thread. Yeah, mine gets messy sometimes. The struggle is real. Sylvia, thank you ever so much for hanging out with me. Have a lovely evening and bank holiday weekend. Bye, Susan. Thank you for hanging out. How long have we been live, people? See, now you'd think that this thing would tell me how long I've been stitching and chatting to you. And I can't work out for the life of me how long I've been live. How long have I been live, people? What time did we start? 8:30, wasn't it? Yeah, so just shy of an hour. I've not really achieved much for an hour's worth of stitching, have I? I've spent more time talking and reading. Okay, where are we? We're going to come in 1. Okay, be a diligent stitcher, Teresa. "49 minutes. That's very precise. Thank you. Desert Stitcher. I've just downloaded the hardang asal today, but it'll be a while before I can key it up. Not sure what colour I want to do. Good for you. If you've got it, at least that way when you fancy starting it, you can. I do like to have projects of different with different styles waiting in the wings. I just don't like to have too many of the same thing on the go at the same time. My daughter just walked in with a coffee for me. Oh, love her. Does she want to walk in for a coffee with me? You notice my daughter didn't come in with a cup of coffee. Although she did come in and sort out the technical problem. So I suppose I should consider it that she's just there for like technical support. I've had a sale this week. Managed to only buy 3. Well done, Sarah. I'm pleased you didn't succumb to sort of, filling the basket up on Haid. I don't understand why some people are so concerned about the backs of their work. Nobody is going to see it. Tina, very valid point. But a lot of people do make a bit of a deal about their backs, don't they? And I'm sort of the same. I suppose it's a bit like, for me, the back of my work is a bit like, right, okay. Example, people, it's probably way off there. Imagine your house has got a film of dust over it. If you don't move the ornaments the dust is still there, but you can't see it. But if you move the ornaments, then it's just an obviousness, where it's sort of like that for me. You're probably sitting there thinking, what? How is the back of your work anything like dust? But the principle of it sort of is the reason why I do care about what the back looks like as well as the front. Because it's like, well, I know it's there. Maybe I need to let it go. Thank you for hanging out with me, Tina. Take care, my lovely. And thank you for the good tip. Next time I'm going to make sure that I outline. When you stitch parking, my back looks like a mat. Would have fed you be bad. Well, I don't think I've seen anybody's Haid that doesn't look like it's either a rug or a carpet at the back. And mine just look appalling. There's stuff everywhere. I don't need to imagine a layer of dust in my hands. My mum is my ex-police. Love her. Okay, where am I? Okay, one in. So as you can see, I'm not making massive progress on this. But it is coming along. But I needed to get away from doing the skin. I was so bored of skin. So I do a bit of skin, then I go and do a bit of block colour. Then I go back to the 1/1 skin, because it's the only way to deal with it. Oh, Tina, that wasn't you. Which Tina was it then that's leaving me? Tina Stitches. Bye, thanks, but that wasn't me. Maybe the other Tina. Yes, probably. There must be two of you. Sorry, Tina. Thanks for not leaving me. I'm doing my first Haid. I was so worried about the back looking like a matte mess. No, don't worry about that at all. Doesn't matter. Not in the slightest. If yours doesn't look like a mat at the back, then you're doing a damn sight better than everybody else, when everyone else's that I've seen. It was 2 Tinas. I'm going to have to be a bit careful when I'm saying bye to people now, then, aren't I? Make sure that there aren't any... Well, I don't know how I'm going to know that there aren't 2 Tinas. I like the back of my work to look neat also. Tree of Life, Sleep Time and Birthing. The 1/1 skin does look amazing though. It does. That's the problem with it. I think once you've done it once or you've seen it up close and personal, I just can't go back. Because a couple of times I've actually thought, do you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm not going to do the skin 1/1 because I really don't like the amount of time and effort that goes into it. But then when I get to it, I just succumb. And I'm like, oh. It's a bit like this lovely lady. I wasn't intending to give her skin 1/1. And then when I got to a bit that I needed to put skin in, it was like, oh, I need to make the decision. And I was like, well, there's not much skin there, is there? So I'll just do 1/1. And ever since then, I've been kicking myself because I'm like, really? But whenever I've seen mirabilias that don't have the skin 1/1, I don't get drawn to them quite in the same way. So I think I just have to accept that I have to do the skin 1/1. There is no choice. Because otherwise I will always sit there and criticise it. Have you ever tried skin 2/1 10? I think it looks as good as 1/1. Oh, no, Tina, I've not. Oh, I'll have to go and Google that. Haven't seen that yet. That might be... that might be a way around it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where am I at? Sorry if I just banged things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That can't be right. Oh no, people. Or could it? Hold on. See, it started already. Okay. The big one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no. So I think I might have gone wrong. 1, 1, 2, 2 of the same, 1, 2, and then 2 of the same, 1, 2. Oh, you know why? Duh. I forgot to mark one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, but if I do 6, then that puts me on the end of there. What to do? Something is wrong. Do you know what? I'm going to unpick this line and I'm going to go up to the top and come back down and then fudge it somewhere in the middle. See? See, this is what happens for me. And I don't even think that it was us sitting there talking to you. This is the sort of thing that happens. Oh, yes, you're right. It has stopped, hasn't it? Oh, now it's gone off. Should be back. Is it back? Can you see me? Yay, thank you. See, what would I do without you all? Yeah, the nasty frog. I think I'm going to fudge this. I think it's going to be one of those. As you can see, I'm a total floss licker. Okay. Now then, let's do some counting and see where we're at. So, according to my pattern, see, I've got those, so that should be that one, and that one should be that one. No, I don't know what I'm doing. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, damn and blast. That can't be right, can it? Do you know what, people? I think I'm going to have to bail out on you because it's not going according to plan with the stitching. And I don't want to make it any worse than it already is because that's always a possibility. What's that? Andromeda is one of my whips. I fudged a bit in her hair. Good for you. I'm not even going to begin to tell you how much fudging I've done on this. So we did stitching and it was fabulous. And I loved chatting to you all, although I know I was struggling to try and keep up with you all on the live feed. It was just like, wow, well, yeah, I'm trying to keep up. And then it'll be like, read a bit, miss a bit, read a bit, miss a bit. What's that? It isn't a mistake, it's a design feature. I like that. Mine must have so many design features, it's unbelievable. So, well, thank you for hanging out with me, everyone. I was not expecting this many people. I've had an absolute blast. It will get easier and it will get better. So, I mean, I will definitely do a Stitch With Me live. It's definitely made it so that I don't need to worry about what I'm going to say. And I still have the problem of I need to stop to focus to the count. So that makes no difference whether I just do a recording or whether I do a live stream. But, I mean, you'll all have to tell me whether you've enjoyed the live stream. I don't know. If you like the live streams, then obviously I can make sure to do a few more live streams. But for now, I'm going to head off and go and get that nice cup of coffee. So thank you ever so much for hanging out with me. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely Easter weekend. And for those that are getting the sunshine, make sure you wear your sunscreen. Very important. So until next time, people. Bye-bye for now. And now I need to work out how to switch it off, because I don't know how to do it. How do I switch it off? So you've got to have this on the end of the video, right? Okay, I'm going to press a button. Theoretically, it should stop streaming. So again, bye-bye for now. Does that work? No, I'm still here. Oh, I love technology.